Buying a home in today's market can seem a little scary, especially if you're a first-time home buyer. From loan types to escrow money to inspections and more, you may be feeling a little overwhelmed. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing the steps that you should take to get you from start to finish and get you into the home of your dreams. If you're new to the channel, my name is Tiffany and I'm a licensed realtor here in the greater Daytona Beach area. I specialize in residential sales of all types, and I want to make sure that you're prepared to buy a house in this market. Whether you're a first-time home buyer or you've bought and sold multiple homes over the years, you need to be prepared and aware of the process and what you can expect from your realtor that you hire. If you're ready, let's get started. The first step in the home buying process is taking a deep dive into your finances. You need to ask yourself, how much can I realistically afford? And just remember, it's not just your mortgage payment. You've also got taxes, homeowners insurance, possibly mortgage insurance, and some other things that you'll need to take into consideration. If some of this sounds really overwhelming, you may want to check out some of the online home affordability calculators, and they can really help you out. Once you've got a handle on your financial landscape, it's time to start shopping around for lenders. Don't just settle on the first one you find. It's important to really explore your options here. Different lenders may offer different terms and conditions, and this could be beneficial to you in the long run. Your lender is going to help you figure out which type of loan is going to be best for you, and they may even be able to introduce you to some local or government programs that might benefit you. The next crucial step is to get a pre-approval letter from your lender. Not only does this give you a clear picture of what you can afford in the housing market, but it also makes you a more competitive buyer. It's a win-win situation. Your lender is going to be able to walk you through that pre-approval process, and it's probably going to go smoother than you think. Now that you've got your pre-approval letter in hand, it's time to start interviewing buyer's agents. And you may ask yourself, why do I even need a buyer's agent? And that is a valid question. So let's talk a little bit about what a buyer's agent is going to bring to the table. Your buyer's agent should be doing more than just popping locks on houses that you want to see and setting up appointments. They need to be working in your best interest. And that includes things like having really in-depth conversations with you about the type of home that you're looking for, negotiating on your behalf, and looking at comparable properties. You should interview buyer's agents and make sure that the one you hire is going to do all of these things for you. Once you've found the right agent, you should sign an exclusive buyer brokerage agreement. This agreement protects you and your realtor. It sets clear expectations of what you can expect from your realtor throughout that process and what they can expect from you. It's always a really great idea to have someone in your corner who has your best interest at heart when you're likely making the biggest investment of your life. Now that you've got your realtor on board, it's time to start doing the fun stuff, shopping for houses. Your realtor will be looking for houses for you on their local MLS, but please feel free to shop around online on Zillow or Realtor.com, and if you do see a house that you want to see, send it to your realtor. When you're out there looking at houses, I do recommend not looking at more than 3 or 4 in a day. It can become sensory and information overload, and you may forget important details about some of the houses that you've seen for that day. I also recommend maybe taking some notes as you're looking at these houses so you can remember which one had the amazing kitchen that you loved, or maybe that really cramped living room that you couldn't stand. Once you've found your perfect home, it's time to make an offer. Look at comparable properties with your realtor and decide what offer you want to make. There are a lot of things to consider when you make an offer, including purchase price, escrow money deposits, inspection timeframes, and closing dates. Your realtor may be able to gather more information from the listing agent that's going to help you write an offer that is more attractive to the seller. So what happens after you make an offer? The seller has several different options. They can accept your offer, which is what we want. They can counter back with a different offer. They can tell you no, and on some rare occasions, they may give no response at all. But for the sake of this video, let's say that your offer was accepted. So what do you do next? It's now your responsibility to make sure that you get your escrow money deposited. Here in the greater Daytona Beach area, it's typically held at a title agency. The money is held by this title agency until closing and is applied to the purchase of your home. Now that your home's under contract, it's time to start scheduling your home inspection. Now, you may already know a home inspector that you've used before and that you trust, but if you don't, just make sure to ask your realtor and they should be able to provide you with some names of people that they've used in the past and that they trust. The home inspector you hire will come out and do an in-depth inspection of the property you're wanting to buy. And they'll also generate a pretty lengthy report that will outline any items that might be in need of repair. You're definitely going to want to speak with your realtor to see if you want to ask for any of these items to be repaired by the seller. Just keep in mind that in the state of Florida, the sellers are not required to make any repairs. So if the seller says that they are not willing to make all or any of the repairs that you've requested, you'll need to make the decision as to whether or not you want to move forward with the transaction and take care of those repairs yourself or find a different house. While you're scheduling your inspection and waiting for that to be completed, you also need to get in touch with your lender so they can get started on getting your loan approved. Your lender is going to be asking for a lot of documents, including W-2s, your pay stubs, bank statements, and a whole lot more. So it's really important to get those documents and anything else that they ask for to the lender in a timely manner so they can get your loan approved within this certain time frame. Of course, if you're paying cash for this property, you are going to skip this step. Another thing that I want to point out that I think is really important, whether you're paying cash or you're financing, is making sure that you get your bank account set up to wire money. You don't want to get to the end of the transaction and be left holding the bag. Throughout your loan approval process, your lender will likely also order an appraisal to be completed on the property. The appraisal is completed by a third party with no affiliation to the buyer or the seller. The appraiser will come in, assess the home's value, and make sure that it's being sold at a fair market price. If the appraisal comes back and the assessed value falls short of what you offered on the home, more negotiations may need to take place with that seller in order to make the deal work. Once we've gotten through the appraisal process and your loan has been approved, it's time to head to the closing table and get the keys to your new home. But there's one more step that we have to do first. You need to do a final walkthrough with your realtor. I always suggest doing your final walkthrough on the day of closing before you head to that closing table. You want to make sure that the home is in the same condition as when you saw it last. Make sure that no unforeseen circumstances have happened, like a pipe bursting and ruining your floors, your air conditioning unit works, and that all of the appliances that you negotiated in your offer are still in that house. After your final walkthrough, if everything's satisfactory, just head to the closing table, sign some papers, and get the keys to your new home. And there you have it. If you are thinking about purchasing a home in 2024, make sure to head over to our website, homesofdaytonabeach.com, where you can schedule a time to meet with me to talk about your real estate goals. I'm here to answer any questions that you might have and get you on the path to home ownership here in the greater Daytona Beach area. I really hope that this video was helpful and informational for you. Make sure to stay tuned for more videos on our channel so you don't miss out on any other important information. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.